It is a privilege to address you today on behalf of the Four Cardinal Points Organization, a research and analysis center committed to producing informed, ethical, and actionable approaches to global challenges. Today, I will outline a framework for sustainable peace in West Asia, or also called Middle East, grounded in historical awareness, local agency, and multi level international cooperation. The conflicts in West Asia or the Middle East are long standing and deeply rooted, spanning over a century of political interventions, territorial disputes, and social upheavals. The legacies of external interventions, from colonial era agreements to modern geopolitical maneuvers, have left the region fragmented and often prioritized external interests over the needs and rights of local populations. The consequences of such interventions is well illustrated by the historical case of the Balfour Declaration of 1917, which granted land to a Jewish Zionist ambitions without local consent, setting in motion a century long crisis that still endures today. Informed by these lessons, any roadmap toward lasting peace must acknowledge historical realities, understand the multiple layers of influence, and center the voices of those affected. It must also reject externally imposed Western led solutions that risk repeating past mistakes. This includes proposals like the US Western led peace initiatives or attempts to rely on political figures with colonial mindsets, such as Tony Blair. While Blair may bring experience in conflict management, his historical and national context, echoing patterns of British intervention from over a century ago, makes his leadership in this region problematic. Our approach instead prioritizes local agency and regional legitimacy, while integrating global support in a collaborative, non dominating manner. To operationalize this philosophy, we propose a five-layer governance and peace-building pyramid, a framework that structures intervention and support to maximize legitimacy, sustainability, and effectiveness. This pyramid represents the different layers of engagement required to build a comprehensive roadmap for West Asia, also called the Middle East. So, layer one would entail core Palestinian governance that would sit at the foundation. At this level, the focus is on empowering local communities and leadership structures. Effective governance must be legitimate, accountable, and reflective of the people's needs and aspirations. Examples of actors at this layer include the Palestinian Authority, local municipal councils in Gaza and the West Bank, grassroots civil society organizations, and community based reconciliation initiatives. These actors are responsible for providing essential services, mediating local disputes, and ensuring that governance is responsive to citizen needs. Without a strong homegrown foundation, any external support risks being ineffective or counterproductive. Local decision making is the keystone of sustainable peace. At layer two, there would be the regional Arab oversight that will extend support from neighboring Arab states. These states will provide advisory, logistical, and technical reinforcement, ensuring coordination while respecting the autonomy of local governance. Notable actors include Egypt and Jordan, who have historically mediated between Palestinian factions, the Arab League, which provides multilateral coordination, and regional development organizations such as the Arab Fund for Economic and Social Development. This layer fosters stability, harmonizes local initiatives with regional dynamics, and reduces the risk of conflict spillover. Crucially, this support is guidance focused rather than directive, preserving local agency. At layer three, there would sit the broader Muslim majority states and will expand the network further. Diplomatic engagement, technical expertise, and mediation capacities from the wider Muslim world strengthen governance structures and regional collaboration. Examples include Turkey and Qatar, which have played roles in humanitarian aid and diplomatic mediation. The Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC, which provides multilateral political and technical support, and regional think tanks and universities that contribute policy research and capacity building programs. This layer enables cross border cooperation, knowledge sharing, and diplomatic legitimacy, signaling to the international community that solutions are inclusive and culturally sensitive. At layer four, there would sit what is known as the Global South Partners, and will introduce financial, technical, and humanitarian support from countries outside traditional Western frameworks. This approach ensures that aid is partnership driven, not patronage driven, reinforcing autonomy, sustainable development, and local ownership. Notable actors here would include Brazil, India, South Africa, and China, who can provide development assistance and technical expertise. Non-Western United Nations agencies like United Nations Development Program offices in the region and international NGOs such as the Islamic Relief Worldwide that operate with a focus on local empowerment rather than geopolitical agendas. By incorporating Global South support, the roadmap avoids replicating patterns of dominance that have historically undermined regional sovereignty. At layer 5, there would sit the United Nations mandated security forces, which would crown the pyramid. International peacekeeping under United Nations authority would provide a secure environment for all other layers to operate effectively. The United Nations Interim Force in Lebanon, UNIFIL, and United Nations Special Coordinator missions in the occupied Palestinian territories offer models for security support focused on protection, conflict monitoring, and humanitarian access. Their role is supportive, focused on safety, stability, and enabling the conditions under which governance and development initiatives can thrive. By placing security at the apex, we recognize the stability is essential but must enable, not substitute, local and regional agency. So, this five layer pyramid integrates historical consciousness, local empowerment, ethical mediation, strategic operationalization, and international legitimacy into a cohesive, actionable framework. Each layer reinforces the others. Local governance shapes regional strategies. Regional oversight informs broader diplomatic engagement. International partnerships provide sustainable resources, and security enables the entire system to function. The modular structure allows for flexibility, incremental progress, and resilience against political setbacks. It also deliberately rejects Western dominated paradigms that have often failed to deliver durable peace. Our model discards externally imposed solutions that replicate colonial mindsets, whether through unilateral interventions, conditional aid, or the appointment of politically compromised intermediaries. By centering the pyramid on local agency and regional legitimacy, we ensure that peace building is rooted in the lived realities of West Asia, Middle East populations. In summary, This pyramid represents a roadmap that is historically informed, locally grounded, regionally coordinated, internationally supported, and securely protected. Core Palestinian governance ensures legitimacy, regional Arab oversight, and broader Muslim majority engagement provide guidance and technical reinforcement. Global South partnerships offer sustainable support, and United Nations mandated security ensures safe conditions for all layers to function. This approach is not theoretical, it is operational, actionable, and ethically grounded. As scholars, analysts, and practitioners, we're presented with an opportunity to advocate for and implement frameworks that break the cycle of externally imposed solutions and foster long term stability. The five layer pyramid is a tangible model for how this can be achieved. A multi layered, coherent, and adaptable roadmap